Good question. Excellent question.
Right, and that was a law enforcement firearm that was found in a dumpster, shot randomly. He claimed to be shooting at into the ocean at SEALs. That's what he's saying, but it ended up ricocheting and going to Kate Steinle. The fact that it was a ricochet backed up the claim from the defense attorney that it was an accident. This whole thing was an accident. What was amazing is seeing that defense attorney go up as if he knew the verdict was going to go his direction and warned the President of the United States and the Vice President, hey, you're being investigated too. You want due process, so that's what we got here, so don't criticize.
Let's bring in Kellyanne Conway. She's counselor to the president. She's at the White House. We have her live this morning. Kellyanne, what was the president's reaction? We saw he's been tweeting about it last night and this morning about this, saying it's a disgrace. He says it's a deadly disgrace. Have you talked to him this morning, and what's his reaction?
Well, this news broke last night while there was a staff Christmas party here, obviously hosted by the President and the First Lady. Shocked and saddened and really outraged. This is a president who, as a campaigner and now as president, has remained committed to not just the memories of Kate and all the other victims, but those angel moms and angel dads who so courageously and bravely went on the campaign trail with Donald Trump and have been here to the White House since then to meet with President Trump on actual legislation. Right. I've sat in the room with them. We've cried on each other's shoulders, and they have made very clear, these angel moms and angel dads, that they want resolution. As one mom put it here in the Roosevelt Room, we want action. And that action is in the form of things like Kate's Law and No Sanctuaries for Criminals Act. The House passed it earlier in the summer, and we want action because this is very simple. This makes common sense to the American people. That if somebody has flouted the law, broken the law, is here illegally, comes back 5 times. Right. That's why folks want the wall built. That's why they want more agents at the border. That's why they want to make sure our brave men and women at the border have the tools they need, the equipment they need to keep the criminal aliens out and to keep the poison, the drugs out of our society. And then the No Sanctuary for Criminals Act basically tells our major sanctuary cities, you're not getting federal funding. Right. You apply for DHS and DOJ grants, and you know what you need to do as a threshold? Obey the law already. Right. And if you flout the law, you're not getting the money. This strikes many Americans as common sense. It's an outrageous verdict, and we will not stop until justice is served. Sure. And until there's legislation on the books federally that not just prevents this in the future, but also makes clear to these cities, you better stop putting criminal aliens before the safety and protection of our American citizens.
Kellyanne, right after the verdict, this illegal aliens lawyer, a fellow by the name of Matt Gonzalez, went out to the cameras, apologized, said essentially that he felt sorry for the loss by the Steinle family, but then he took a shot at the President of the United States in a fashion a lot of people are shocked. We're going to play a little of it, and then we're going to get your reaction.
For those who might criticize this verdict, there are a number of people that have commented on this case in the last couple of years. The Attorney General of the United States, the President and Vice President of the United States. Let me just remind them that they are themselves under investigation by a special prosecutor in Washington, D.C., and they may themselves soon avail themselves of the presumption of innocence and the beyond a reasonable doubt standard. And so I would ask them to reflect on that before they comment or disparage the result in this case.
Well, the president has commented via Twitter. What's your response to Mr. Gonzalez there?
It's just unconscionable that he would equate them. And this is what's happening with many on the deranged left. They have to make the president part of everything. You know what the president has done? He has invited people like Mr. Jamil Shaw Sr. As his and the First Lady's guest at the joint session of Congress last winter because his son, Jamil Shaw Jr., was killed in the prime of his life by an illegal alien, I believe also in that state. But the fact is that this president has nothing to do, that investigation has nothing to do with a criminal alien who had been deported 5 times, who was convicted 7 times. And for him to equate the two is really ridiculous. I don't know if he thinks he has to make some sweep, but I'm sure he's looking for some kind of book gig or some kind. I'm sure he'll be a guest on TV shows all weekend. But it's actually, I don't even feel like dignifying with a response since the two have nothing to do with the other.
Well, don't worry, I don't think so, because a lot of other networks don't think this is important enough to cover substantially.
They're not covered. I noticed that this morning. I noticed that in their crib sheets too, when they send out their tip sheets in the morning of what's important to the rest of us. It's amazing what, again, parallel universes.
How is this
what
not
America
an important
says is
story?
important to them.
Yeah.
It's important to everyone because the safety and security of this country comes first. That's